guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Hannah, and today I look like a mess, but it is like 9 o'clock at night, and I decided to do my year in books on Goodreads, and I thought I would go through it and share it with you guys. If you hear any background noise, say hi.
Hi.
My sister Mary is here. She's reading Aragon. I'm about to start it. We're gonna buddy read it together. I'm very excited. But yeah, and on to my year in books. I pulled up my Goodreads on my laptop. So today is probably gonna be a short video because I'm not sure. I haven't really looked at it. I wanted to save my reactions for the camera. I did kind of glance through it, but I'm gonna go more into detail. I'm gonna read off every book that I read. I'm gonna put everything right here. You guys are gonna have some photos to go along with the references. So this year, I'm so excited. I read 100 books. That is usually my goal. This year, my goal was 50 books. So the fact that I actually made it to 100 was insane to me, and I'm very, very happy. It says I read about 37,000 pages. I'm not sure how accurate this page count is. So I'm just gonna say I read about 30,000 pages. I'm gonna round down because I'm not sure how accurate it is. Maybe 35,000. My shortest book was Day of the Blizzard by Marietta Moskin. I read that with my sisters. I honestly don't really remember what it was about. It was like a short story about this girl and there was a blizzard. It was based off a real blizzard that happened. I can't remember which one or where she lived. New York. My sister just whispered the answer to me. She lived in New York. There was a big blizzard and she was stuck out looking for her father. And that's all I really remember. It said it was 79 pages long. The longest book I read was Dune by Frank Herbert. I do remember reading this one. It was 883 pages long. I'm not sure if that's how long the copy that I own was, but that's how long Goodreads said it was. It's pretty popular, especially now with the new movies with Timothée Chalamet that came out. Basically, it's like what inspired Star Wars. But other than that, I don't really remember. I don't remember what I rated either of them either. It doesn't tell me. My average book length in 2024 was 367 pages. That makes sense. I usually read about 300 page long books, typically 300 to 400 pages. So that makes sense. My most shelved book, which another one makes 100% sense, was Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, with 13.6 million people also shelved this book. I don't know if this number is how many people shelved this book this year, or if it is how many. There's no way that's how many total. Harry Potter is so popular, so that must be how many people shelved this book this year. So that's actually pretty insane. I like all the numbers that this gives me. I've never really looked at this before. Like, I know they do this every year. It's like a Spotify Wrapped almost, but for your books. I've never really looked through it, so I'm very excited that I'm getting to look through it. My least shelved book was The Sunflower Stone by Cynthia Scala. 32 people also shelved this book. It was an ARC that I received. I don't remember what it was about. I remember liking it, but I don't remember what it was about. I think it had something to do with dreams. Like, she was able to, like, teleport into this different dimension when she went to sleep. I think. I could be wrong. Cynthia, please don't come for me. I'm so sorry. I do remember enjoying your book. If you're watching this, I'm so sorry. My average rating was 4.1 stars. So I had a really good reading year. I didn't really rate anything lower than 3 stars, I think. So that's really impressive. The highest rated book on Goodreads that I shelved was Fruits Basket, Volume 10. I know I rated this 5 stars. I've rated every single one of these volumes 5 stars. If you know me, you know I'm obsessed with Fruits Basket. but the average rating is 4.71 stars is the average rating. So that's really good. So if you haven't read these books yet, read these books. They're very popular and they're so good. My first review of the year was for Archer's Voice by Mia Sheridan. Maybe butchering her last name. I rated it 5 stars. And I guess I could read the review I typed out. Like I said, I didn't plan this at all. I'm a mess. I'm in my Snuggie. This was a last minute decision. I'm in my parents' room. This was very last minute. But the review is, OMG, huh? This book was an emotional roller coaster. Life lesson. Don't read romance novels at work or you risk becoming completely broken for the rest of your shift. I remember reading this when I worked at a grocery store. I remember reading this at night right before we closed. We didn't have any customers. And I remember I hit this really sad scene and I was actually sobbing at work. I love Archer and Bree stories so much. I want to read about them forever. First book of 2024 and also a 5-star read. This year is off to a pretty good start. Please read this book. You'll be doing yourself a favor. So that is the review, my review for Archer's Voice. I do not pride myself in the reviews that I write. I don't know if I write them well. I just kind of word vomit what I think about the book, so they're not going to be very eloquent. So... oh, now it's just going to show me all the books I read. Oh, and then my last review of the year. I'll do that first, and then I'll just read through the list of all the books I read this year. So the last review of this year, I just reviewed it. It's Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. I'm rereading the series. I wanted to end 2024 and start 2025 with rereading the Harry Potter series because it has been a good long while. And I wanted to rewatch the movies, and I thought, why not read the books first and then rewatch the movie? And I've been watching the movies with my sisters while I'm here in Virginia. But the review says, reread, in all caps. Again, as I've been saying, these books hold a special place in my heart. 4.75 out of 5 stars. I don't want to say too much in case I spoil anything for the very few people who haven't read this series. All I want to say is if you're reading this and you haven't read Harry Potter, even if it's just the first one, you have to, please. So yeah, basically, if you are watching this, read Harry Potter if you haven't already. My reread of Harry Potter actually was inspired. I don't know if you guys watched Destiny Sidwell, but she recently read Harry Potter for the first time. And I watched her series of her doing that, and I really enjoyed it, and it made me want to reread Harry Potter. So that is what I've been doing. So I guess now I don't know if this is in any order, but I guess I'll just go through all the books I read in 2024. I don't know what I rated all of them. Some of them it tells me, some of it does not. I am not going to individually click on these and wait for them to load. So sorry, guys. If you would like to see what I rated all these books, feel free to go friend me on Goodreads. I will friend you back. I will link my Goodreads in the description if you guys are interested. If you would like to friend me on Goodreads or follow me on Goodreads, I will definitely friend you guys back. I love making Goodreads friends. I love seeing what everybody's reading. So the first book, like the review, was Archer's Voice by Mia Sheridan. Then I have Outlander by Diana Gabaldon. I may be saying that wrong. And then I have Daisy Jones and the Six by Taylor Jenkins Reid. Milk and Honey by Rupi Kaur. Yellow Face by R.F. Kuang. Friends, Lovers, and the Big Terrible Thing by Matthew Perry. Mercy by Sarah Kate. If Cats Disappeared from the World by Genki Kawamura. Maybe saying that wrong. Sabotage by Chantal Tessier. Carnage by Chantal Tessier. What Moves the Dead by T. Kingfisher. Belladonna by Adeline Grace. Otello by Shakespeare. Fahrenheit 451 by Ray Bradbury. The Mayor of Maxwell Street by Avery Cunningham. The Housemaid by Frida McFadden. To Kill a Kingdom by Alexandra Christo. Maybe Someday by Colleen Hoover. Misery by Stephen King. Reminders of Him by Colleen Hoover. It Starts With Us by Colleen Hoover. there's going to be a Colleen Hoover theme this year, I feel like. Secrets Never Die by Vincent Ralph. The Body by Stephen King. Beach Read by Emily Henry. Magnolia Parks by Jessa Hastings. If you know me, that's my all-time favorite book. I read that this year for the first time. I read the entire series. They were all amazing. Please read those. Please. At least the first book. It Happened One Summer by Tessa Bailey. The Housemaid's Secret by Frida McFadden. Daisy Hates by Jessa Hastings. Magnolia Parks The Long Way Home by Jessa Hastings. A Court of Silver Flames by Sarah J. Maas. For the Love of the Gods by Rory L. Scott. The Great Undoing by Daisy Hates the Great Undoing by Jessa Hastings. The Inmate by Frida McFadden. The Sunflower Stone by Cynthia Scala. Lie With Me by Felipe Besson. Magnolia Parks Into the Dark by Jessa Hastings. Eclipse by Stephanie Meyer. Never Lie by Frida McFadden. The Last Time I Lied by Riley Sager. Dune by Frank Herbert. The Summer I Turned Pretty by Jenny Han. Done and Dusted by Lila Sage. Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez. Things We Hide from the Light by Lucy Score. The Nightingale by Kristen Hanna. Fruits Basket, Volume 1, 2, and 3. Babel by R.F. Kuang. The Girl from the Sea by Molly Knox Ostertag. A Little Life, which was a reread, by Hanya Yanagihara. The Green Ember by S.D. Smith. The Perks of Being a Wallflower by Stephen Chbosky. Warriors Into the Wild by Aaron Hunter. Done by Katie Ray. The Pairing by Casey McQuiston. Russian Gothic by Alexander Skorobogatov. Water for Elephants by Sarah Gruen. The Perfect Child by Lucinda Berry. A Game of Thrones by George R.R. Martin. Fruits Basket 4 and 5. Those are by Natsuki Takaya, by the way. I don't know if I said that when I said the books earlier. Smitten with a Single Dad by Whiteley Cox. Love Sick by Cynthia A. Rodriguez. 100 Years of Solitude by Gabriel Garcia Marquez. Scythe by Neil Shusterman. Of Mice and Men by John Steinbeck. A Kingsguard Tale by G.F. Allen. The Life We Bury by Alan Eskins. Nothing But Black and Teeth by Cassandra Kaw. Horror Store by Grady Hendrix. Fright Night by Maren Stoffels. Unbreakable by Danny Galliaro. Haunting Adeline by H.D. Carlton. Fruits Baskets, Volume 6. My Vampire Plus One by Jenna Levine. Spookily Yours by Jennifer Chipman. Dearest by Jackie Walters. Fruits Baskets, Volume 7. Lights Out by Nevessa Allen. Magical Meet Cute by Jean Meltzer. Divine Rivals by Rebecca Ross. The Witch and the Vampire by Francesca Flores. Here's Michael again. If you guys watched my last video, you will see a lot of him. The Curious Incident of the Dog in the Nighttime by Mark Haddon. The Day of the Blizzard by Marietta Mobskin.
And I got a Bluey book.
He got a Bluey book for Christmas. He did. Let It Snow by John Green, Maureen Johnson, and Lauren Miracle. The Best Christmas Pageant Ever by Barbara Robinson. Fruits Baskets, Volume 8, 9, and 10. How to Stop Being Toxic by Tom Stokes.
And I got Franz Flamer books. And I go in the bookstore.
He did go to the bookstore. We went to Barnes & Noble. If you watched my last video, you will see that. The Most Wonderful Crime of the Year by Allie Carter. Great Expectations by Charles Dickens. The Holiday Swap by Maggie Knox. The Priory of the Orange Tree by Samantha Shannon. Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone by J.K. Rowling. Pretty Boys Are Poisonous by Megan Fox. Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets by J.K. Rowling. Shatter Me by Tahara Mafi. And
I got a Playmobil thing for Christmas.
You got a Playmobil thing for Christmas. And lastly, Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban by J.K. Rowling. So those were all the books that I read in 2024. Please let me know if you have read any of these and if you have any recommendations based off of what I have read. I enjoyed most of the books that I read. So most of them were 3 to 5 stars. So based off of this, if you guys have any good recommendations, let me know. You silly goof. So yeah, please subscribe, like, and turn on notifications. It helps out the channel a ton. I really enjoy making videos and I would love to continue doing it. I loved the engagement on the last video. There was a lot of you guys commenting. I don't know if this little one had to do with it because most of the comments were about him, but I really enjoyed the engagement. I love talking with you guys in my comment section. So if you guys want to leave a comment, go ahead. And yeah, I love you all so much. Thank you so much for watching. Bye. Say bye. Say bye.
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 Bye.